Hi all, welcome to part 12 module 5 computer network. So what we were discussing in the last video is about the IGMP protocol, the network layer protocol called the internet group management protocol, which is responsible for the membership handling in a multicast group. So we already seen the basic about IGMP protocol and some of its types. Now let's see that operation of IGMP protocol in detail here. So here I have a network, say with A to Z. These are all the individual host, right? And they are connected to three routers, right? R1 is one router, R2 is another router, maybe further it is connected to other networks, and R is another one. It is further connected to other networks. So here it is highlighted something called the list of groups having the lower members. That is something I already told you. This R you can consider as a distributing router for this group, but if you want you can make others also, but in this example it is taken like that. So for this network you don't have to maintain more than one distributed router, provided this one router is capable of doing it. This R1 R2 they can take care of some other network, of course, I mean multicasting part only, and all of them will be doing the normal unicast routing, of course. And this multicasting you can make use of a single router, or if you want you can give the task to more. But if you are giving to more, you have to ensure that, for example, this particular router is handling these groups like 225 70 dot. So here you have to observe one thing, this range, right? So this is something we already learned, that is a class D range is this, that is 224 onwards, 0.0.0 to 239.255. So you can see that all those addresses are given as the multicast group ID where of with this range, right? So 229, all those things. Yeah, then only, otherwise it will be unicast IP address only. Yeah. So this particular group is being taken care by this router R. So you don't have to maintain the same entry in R2, right? But if the router is maybe some 10 groups, let this router handle another 10 or 15, let R2 handle. In that case, in that way you can configure, but you have to ensure that the list of groups maintained by, if there are more than one distributing router for a given network, the list of group ID maintained by them should be mutually exclusive. There should not be any common element, because we don't want the two routers to take care of a particular group. So that is the thing. And maximum you can give this entire responsibility of multicasting in that particular network to a single router also. So all those things were fine. At least you ensure that mutual exclusiveness among dealing with the groups. Hope it is clear. So that is the thing, and there should be at least one loyal member. That is another one you have to keep in mind. So you have to ensure there should be at least one active participant in that group. Otherwise, you can remove that group from the list, so that you don't have to receive any multicast group. That particular, maybe its members of that group ID will be there in a different network. So let it go there. I don't want, because in my network no one is interested into this particular group. So here you can use a term called interested. You can say like this A is interested on a multicast group, say 225.70.8.20, so something like that. Similarly, in general we can call this router R is interested on these groups, so that whenever some packets were coming with the destination address to be any one of them, this router will be receiving them because it is interested on them. Other groups it can simply ignore. So that is the purpose of maintaining this kind of a list in any distributing route. So that is the idea. Yeah, let's see. The operation is like this. The multicast router connected to a network has a list of multicast addresses of the group with at least one loyal member in that network. So for each group there is a router that has a duty of distributing the multicast packets, just like what we see in R, destined for that group. So for example, router R in the given example acts as a distributing router for the multicast group, one of the group 225.70.8.20. For other also router R, or you can give it to a different one. So this means that there are three multicast routers connected to the network in that example, say R1. Then their list of group IDs are to be mutually exclusive, something I already explained. If that is the case, a host or multicast router can have membership in a group. So A host is a member of a group, also a router is member of a group. So both are used in two different hosts, context. So that host is member of a group. This information will be making use of the particular distributing router for sending the multicast packets to that group. Similarly, router is part of a group that will be utilized by other routers to sending or forwarding all packets with that destination multicast address to this particular router. So both have different meaning. So when a host has a membership, it means that some of the processes inside that host receives multicast packet from the group. So the host itself may be part of more than one multicast group, of course. That depends on its processes, right? Some of the process may be interested on one group inside that host, and others will be interested on some other group. Something we already said again. Now a router has a membership. It means that the network connected to one of its interface receives multicast packets of that particular group, right? So we say that the host or the router is having an interest in the group. So this is something you can use as a terminology, right? It's because it's part of it, something like that. So in both cases, the host and the router keep a list of group IDs, something like we already seen. The host is also maintaining something like that, but we highlighted the one that is stored kept by the distributing router. Whenever this host is maintaining such a list, it will be relaying that with the its interest in the form of the list to the distributing router, and the router will update accordingly. Now different types of operation, like how to join a group. Some message we already seen, that membership report. So with the help of that membership report message, someone can join a group by showing its interest. A host or a router can join a group, again in two contexts. Host is trying to join a group because one of its inside process wish to participate in that group, wish to receive packets of that group. Router is part of group in the sense on the global routing, this router wish to receive packets to that particular group. Then only it can further deliver it to the individual host, and host will further deliver it into the processes. That is a flow. A host maintain a list of processes that have membership in the group. When process wants to join a new group, it sends that request to group, right? So that is by means of that membership group. So host adds the name of the process which wish to be part of the group, and the name of the requested group to the list. If the list means individually the host is maintaining a list, like say process 1 want to participate on this particular group, say with some ID, say 225 dot something. Say process 2 1 wish to be part of the same group, say 225 dot something. Now process 3 want to be part of a different group, say 229 dot something. So whenever it is having an entry for the first time, it's some of the process is trying to join a group for the first time. The host is supposed to send inform that to the router, right? Then only the router can update its entry accordingly. So how the host will be informing that its interest to join a particular group into the router? So that is by means of the membership report message, right? Now sometimes in case of P1, okay, this will be sending a membership request. So say 224.10. Something I write in 2.0. So here also it is 224.10.5.0. So both are same, right? So whenever P1 tries to join, this could be sent as a membership report, but for P2 it will not send, because I already sent that information for P1. So that time the router is supposed to update its value with this. So when P2 is joining, okay, I am already part of the group. Like that the host will think, okay. Now you may think what will happen if the first membership report is lost. So we will see that if this is the first entry, there is no need to send the membership report. If this is not some problem, that is somehow came in between. If this is not the first entry, there is no need to send the membership report, since a host is already a member of the group. So it already receives multicast packets for that group, of course. Now how it will ensure that the first membership report itself is received by the router, just for that reliability, it will be sending that membership report two times, twice, right? So the membership report will be sent twice one after another within say few moments in between. So in this way the first one is lost in any reason or damage, the second one replaces it. So we believe that with this two trial it will be reached by the individual router and it will update. So and also you don't have to worry at this point, even though the second one also lost, in between the router will be asking individual machines about it. So we will see such monitoring kind of message soon, and that time you will understand that router is also periodically asking that network about membership of no group or no, what are all the groups which you are part of it. So that time everyone will represent this membership report again. So with that somehow it will be updated in the router, right? Now similarly, when a host want to leave a group, in the sense all its individual host want to leave a group means none of its processes want to continue with that loop, particular group. So host can simply exit from the group, so that it has to be informed to the router. Again it will inform it by means of a special message called a leave report. Just like the membership report, here we have a leave report. So host, when a host sees that none of the processes inside it is interested in a specific group, right? No one is interested, so why you have to continue with that group, right? So it can send a leave report. Similarly, when the router sees that none of the network, none of the host inside the network where it is connected to its interface is interested, right? Again no one is interested, the router want to leave the group. So that time again it will send that leave report globally, so that the other router can update and they will not send any group messages for this particular group into that router. However, when the multicast router receives a leave report, it cannot immediately purge that group from its list, because the report comes from just one of the host or the router. So there may be other hosts or the routers that are still interested in the group. So that is something very important, something I already told you, because this leave report is coming from a host. So immediately the router can't take a quick decision and it can remove that or purge that entry from the list, because even though one host don't want to continue with the group, the others may be interested. So the router have to ensure that whether it is a decision from this router alone, this host alone, or it is a collective opinion. So what the router will send, it will send a special query message. So the third kind of message, the special query message, and insert the group ID or the multicast group into it. So whether anyone is interested to this particular groups, that is how the special query is communicating. And the router allows a specified time also, just like a general query. For all query messages we have a specific response time, something we already seen, so that will be there. So during this time, if no interest is coming back, in the sense if someone is interested, they are supposed to send the membership report. If nobody is reporting, sending back the membership report, the router will assume that there is no interest for that particular group being received, and it assumes that no loyal members, and it will be purging that particular group from the list. But it will, before purging that entry from the list, it will ensure that whether anyone interested or not, by sending that special query message, right? So if it is not getting any response within a stipulated time, it can conclude like no one is interested and can leave that remove that entry from the list. And now what is the purpose of monitoring the membership? Again I told you already, sometimes the membership report and leave report is fine when someone want to join, membership report, want to leave report. But at any time particular group may be running with a single loyal host, loyal member. That can be possible, right? So that time what is the case is like that particular single machine is gone offline, or it is in some trouble and it is not in a position to send the leave report. So what it will do, the router will simply keep that group in its list, and all the messages will be sent into that particular network without knowing the fact that that particular, again it's a kind of multicasting, unicasting. So how it is, how the router will communicate the multicast packet inside the group, it's a different topic. Again we will try to cover at the end. So that is something different. But anyway, somehow the router will unwantedly send the messages to that group. Actually that group is having only one active member and he is not active right now. So that is the situation. It's gone offline, or it's gone means due to some reason, some breakdown, something happened to that particular machine, but the router is not updated. So it should not be the case. So what the router is supposed to do is it has to monitor the group periodically and it has to update the list with the current recent information, right? So for that it is using that general query for the monitoring purpose. We will see how it is. A host or a router can join a group by sending the membership report. It can leave a group by sending the leave report, of course. So however, sending these two types of messages is not enough. For example, consider the situation in which there is only one host interested in a group, but the host is shut down or it is removed from the system due to some reason. So the multicast router will never receive any leave report. But actually nobody is active, for no loyal member is there for that group for that particular time. So how this is handled? The multicast router is responsible for monitoring all the hosts or the routers in the LAN to see if they want to continue their membership in that group or not. So some kind of monitoring should be there. So periodically, normally with a period of say 125 seconds, so this is the time, it sends a general query message, so this is where general query message is used, and that is not specific to a given group, it is for everyone. So that is why the group address will be all zeros in a general query message, something you already seen. In this message the group address is set to 000. So this means that the query for membership continuation is for all groups in which a host is involved, and it's not for a specific group, right? So that's for all group, that's the meaning of 000. Now the router expects an answer for each group in its group list. So after some response time, so typically the maximum response time is set to some 10 second. So 10 second, the value stored in that response time field will be 100, something we already seen, because the unit is taken to be the 10th of a second. So that is why if it is 10 second, 100 will be stored. So that 100 will be interpreted as 100 into 1 by 10, so that will be 10 second. So when a host or a router receives the general query message, it responds with the membership report if it is interested in a group. So what are all the group it is interested for? Each group it is supposed to send the membership report back. Otherwise the router will assume that that particular group is no longer needed in that group. In that network. So however, if there is a common interest, so this is something, another issue, the same group may be more than one host in that particular network may be interested on a particular groups, right? So both of them will send a membership report. If some 1000 host in a network is interested in a particular group, all the 1000 will be sending the membership report, but actually that is not needed, right? So what the router is needed, whether that group is active or not, it's just want to know whether at least one active member, that is enough. So we don't have to deal with all the, so we don't have to increase some unnecessary traffic, or somehow we have to prevent it. So for that we are using a technique called the delayed response. Again, in the next part of the video we will see how this delayed response is working. It's a very smart technique by which it will not let all the interested host on a particular group to send the membership report. Instead only one will be sending, and accordingly by looking at that one, others will not send. So that kind of a technique. So that is something called delayed response. So we will discuss definitely in the next part of the video. All right. And the same concept is applicable to router also, because not that the query message for must be sent by only one router, also to prevent unnecessary traffic. So every time the same duplication we don't want, whether it is at the host level or at the router level. So that is the idea. So hope it is clear, and this delayed response we have to be clear. So that's a very interesting concept. So I thought of giving the next video for that, right? With this we will wind up here. Thanks for watching. The topics were joining group, leaving group and monitoring group. So those three things we discussed here. Yes, thanks.